Hey, all you losers out there. It's Grandmaster Ben Finegold, your favorite Grandmaster. And even if you don't like me, I'm still your favorite. I'm just your least favorite. Somehow I was successful today. I saw some of the comments on Chess24. Man, I thought you guys were dumb, but there's a lot of competition on the internet to say things that are nonsensical. Okay, well, I don't know who's winning the competition. I think it's a big tie. All right. Yeah. So I played Irine Sukandar. I beat her 4 months ago. In that game, I had some special prep. In this position, I played Bishop G5, which is an old favorite of Yasser Seirawan's, and I actually got a big advantage out of the opening because I never played Bishop G5 before, and I did a lot of prep with it to play her. I'm not sure if I've made a video on that game anywhere at the chess club or here. I think at the chess club I did. So maybe you've seen it. Okay, so this game I played my usual Queen C2 Nimzo. Now in the database, Irene plays lots of moves here with black. But in this tournament against Robert Hess, she played B6. And coincidentally, my son and I were talking about this a few days ago. I think actually even before her game with Robert. And Spencer was talking about stuff I didn't know, even though I had that position before. So I did a lot of prep with this, and I have a huge database of my analysis on B6. And that didn't actually persuade me to play one line or the other. I wasn't sure what to do before the game. I did 3 separate analysis sessions with this move between like 9 p.m. and 11 a.m. So E4 is the main move, C5. And now my son is an advocate of one move, which I didn't look at very much. Robert Hess played E5, which doesn't give white anything, but there was some mistakes made. I'll show you that. And A3 is the move I was going to play until I changed my mind this morning. The game with Robert Hess 2 rounds ago was like this. And in this position, which has been played many times, Bishop B7 is quiet computer. Bishop B7 is just the normal, equal position. The computer says equal. And there's a lot of Grandmaster games, and black does fine. And Irene played knight F6, which is a mistake. And she was losing, then she was winning, and then she lost. Okay, sort of an up and down game with Hess. Okay, well, that line doesn't give white anything as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I played D5, which is actually the most common move, although that's not the move my son wanted me to play. And she played Queen E7. It's funny, this game that was played last year in the U.S. Championship between Ona Shook and Caden Trofe. And in this position, Trofe thought for like 40 minutes and played Queen E7, which is silly. And I actually had this position in 2006, and I didn't know until this morning because it was in an open tournament. I lost, and I just forgot about it. And Cefalano played Queen G6 against me in the National Open in 2006. And I played like the worst move I've ever played. I played King F1, which is just a ridiculous move. He didn't take my G-pawn, and now I'm defending it and not castling. So after knight F3, white has a big advantage already. Queen G6 is just a silly move. Okay, so anyway, I was looking at stuff like this. And then at some point, without even looking at this position, it came to me that I could take on E6. And I was just wondering if that's been played before, since black wants to play E takes D5 here. And then I saw it was played 3 times, and the computer said white was better. And so I was like, okay, there's 300 games in my database, and 3 people have done this, so that's not something Irene's going to look at. She's going to look at Bishop E2 and Knight E2, because those are what people play. Okay, and she took with the queen, and it played F3, and there were 2 games with Bishop D3 and one with F3. F3 is better. And Knight C6, Bishop to D2. And here, black played Bishop A6 in the game, the only game this has ever happened, and white won with black playing very strange. She played Knight D4, which is not a good move, but that's one of the moves I analyzed because it's sort of a human move to attack the queen. And actually this morning about 10 a.m., the computer was like going back and forth with Queen D3, Queen D1, Queen C1, so I had to help it and make some moves, and Queen D1's the best. And The main line of the computer was bishop a6, knight e2, knight e2, queen e2, castles, castles. And this is all in my prep, and white's better because black is going to have to trade off her bishop for my knight on, here because the bishop's trapped. I've stopped b5 because I have all my pieces on b5. I've stopped d5. So yeah, white's just much better here. It's like a really strong Marazzi bind. Okay, I think it's like 0.6 according to the engine. And that was like the main line of the engine because knight d4 is not a good move. Okay, so after she castled, I was on my own, but I knew that knight e2 had to be right because she played knight d4 early. So you want to put pressure on d4. Knight e2 is right. And the problem with queen c4, because it looks like I'm just losing a pawn, is I play the move knight f4. This is actually common in this variation. For example, if she plays bishop a6, bishop takes c4, in some positions knight f4 is winning, attacking her queen on e6, and the queen's trapped. Okay, so she played bishop e7. Now I was on my own. Not good. So now I feel like Sam Shankland. I know a ton of theory, good prep, but I have no talent. So I think I had talent, but I just lost it because I'm so old. Sam's never had talent and never will. It's unfortunate. But the guy works really hard, and that's more important than talent. If you study chess all day and you love chess and you try hard, it doesn't matter if you have talent. There's plenty of people with talent, but they don't do any work. So where's that getting them? So working hard is a talent in itself. I shouldn't say Sam has no talent. Normally I would say like Sam has negative talent, but Sam works so hard that gives him some talent. And obviously when Shankland plays good players, he has no hope, but against people like me, he can just win out of the opening. So here I'm sort of winning out of the opening, and the best move I didn't even look at. Okay, I only looked at two moves here. The idiotic move I played, and knight f4, which is like semi-idiotic. That's okay. If I play a3, some very strong grandmasters would say I'm strategically winning, but I'm just clearly better. I'm not winning. The idea is you can't play bishop a5 because your c-pawn is defending all this stuff. So you can't take on b4, your knight's hanging. And if you trade first, I take with the knight, and then I'm defending my b-pawn, so you lose a piece. So you can't play bishop a5. So you have to take, which is terrible, and then I take, and this is terrible for black. I don't know what black does. You could trade, but white has two bishops, and black can't move. This is a horrible position for black. I mean, if Magnus Carlsen was white, he would be really, really happy. Anyway, so I just play a3 and, like, huge advantage. Okay, so I played like an idiot. I played knight d4 and knight b5, and I said, well, either black sacrifices a piece, which I thought was unsound, or I'm winning because I'm threatening everything. Knight c7, knight d4, bishop b4. So if black doesn't sack a piece, I'm just going to win. Unfortunately, one of the piece sacks like virtually wins for black, and I missed a lot of stuff. So she sacrificed bishop e4, which surprised me because I was like, what? Okay. And knight e4 is much stronger, and the reason is, in this position, black's threatening knight c3 check, which wins my queen. And at the bishop e4, black isn't threatening to win my queen, so I have a lot of free moves. So I missed everything, and Irene missed a little bit. So Irene saw this. I think she saw queen h4. And the idea is, if I play queen f2, my king is overworked. It's defending my bishop and my queen, so I've just lost. And if I play g3, she takes with check, and whichever way I take back, she checks me. And then after she checks me, my rook's hanging. So for example, if king takes, she can check me on g5 or h6, and then take my rook. And if I take with the queen, she can check me on e4, and then take my rook on h1. Okay, so king d1. This is all the computer analysis. Rook e8. And she said after the game that she missed in some positions like this, where I'm up a piece, that she has rook e1 check. I didn't see queen h4 check or that it was strong, and she didn't see this. The computer line looks pretty losing to me. The computer line is this, and then queen h7 gets a pawn back, check, and then here, and then here. Yeah. I mean, I assume black's winning here. Black's up 2 pawns, and I mean, pawns are double, but some bishops. Okay, so that seems like the best white can do. So I'm just losing after my terrible knight d4, knight b5. For winning a game and getting a big comeback from my 2 losses in a row, I didn't feel like I won. So yeah, I play a lot of theory, and then knight d4, knight b5 is just ridiculous. Instead if I play a3, then it's good that I did all that prep, because I would have gotten a strategically fantastic position, and instead I lose immediately. Okay, so she made a mistake. Bishop takes e4, and I played perfect the rest of the game, so I guess I get some credit for winning, because I played like 20 good moves in a row here. I thought forever, because I can do a lot of stuff. Knight takes d4, knight c7, pawn takes bishop, bishop takes bishop. I played bishop takes b4, which is correct. And if bishop c2 discovered check, I have queen e2. So she played the other obvious move, bishop f3 check, attacking my queen, so bishop e2. Bishop takes g2, rook g1. And I thought she'd play queen h3 here. And the engine says everything wins for white. Queen takes d4, bishop takes f8. Okay. She played the computer move, rook e8. I thought forever, and I played correctly. I took. She forked and pinned and attacked all my pieces. I played the right move, queen takes d4. Obviously, she can't trade queens. She's down 2 pieces, so she took on b5. And I can't play queen takes f6 because she plays rook takes check. And my rook is needed to pin this, so I can't. So I just lose here. You don't want to go back? Why not? Mad at me? Okay. So I played bishop c3, which was my intention. And one line that's interesting, if she plays rook e4, I can just take it, because my bishop's attacking her queen. And now my bishop's not pinned. So yeah, I thought she'd play like rook e6. I think that's what I thought she'd play. I had some crazy idea. I don't know if it's right. Obviously, I can not play crazy, like, king f1 or something. But this is the crazy line I was looking at. I don't know if I would have done it, because I would have analyzed it a lot. I'm sorry, king f8 takes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're going back to the beginning? Okay. That's funny. This never happened to me. It always happens when I'm doing, like, with Ben Simon at the chess club in St. Louis. And now it's happening to me here. Huh. Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was saying, if rook e6, I was thinking about castling. Don't go back to the beginning now. Takes. New variation? I don't know. Takes, king f8's forced. I figured I'm winning here. I could be wrong. Let's see. Queen h8 takes the rook wins. Does queen h6 and bishop f6 win? Does queen h6 and queen d6 win? What wins? g7, bishop f6. I don't see why taking the rook doesn't win, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe she's mating me somehow. Well, I don't see move that's not queen f5, so I'm not a computer, but that's the only move I see. Then bishop b4 check. Yeah, I should be winning here because I can check from like 7 different angles. So yeah, I have to be winning here. Yeah. All right. I don't know if I would have done this because this is like sort of crazy, but I was looking at it. Okay, and she played the computer move. She didn't play rook e6. She played queen c6, attacking my rook, defending her knight. And computer wants me to play king f1, which I almost played. And then, move my king to g1, move my rook to f1, I'm up a piece. And for those of you who think 3 pawns is worth a piece, I hope I play you in a tournament soon. I tell all my private students, anybody who's my private student, you can call them right now. And, you're probably stalking them anyway. And say how many pawns is worth a piece, and they'll tell you, because they're my student, the answer is 9. And that means you can't sacrifice a piece when you're my student. Okay, so here the pawns are useless, of course. My pieces are great. I thought about king f1, but I decided I wanted to castle queenside, so I played queen g1, defending my rook and threatening rook g7. So I assumed she played g6, and I castle. Okay, and she kept playing computer moves, even though she's losing. Knight e4, bishop f3, and I didn't see the move d5. I was like, wow, knight e4, that's a terrible move. Then she played d5, and I was like, oh, okay, now knight e4 makes sense. Bishop e4. She can't take with the pawn because queen d4 is very annoying. So she took with the rook. Now queen d4 is less annoying. And, I mean, a lot of moves win. King, rook c2, rook d2, king b1. I played rook d2. And she played a really good move, which I didn't see. I thought I was winning her d-pawn. I thought, I'm attacking her d-pawn. That's the one that defends it. And then this is the game over. I attack her rook on d8, and I attack her pawn on d5. And queen h6 is probably winning too. So I didn't see anything else, and she played excellent b5. And b4 is coming. So I followed my rule. Always play king b1. Bishop d4. She saved her a-pawn, which didn't really need saving, but if you want to move your rook off of a8, you should probably play a5 at some point. I should probably play queen g5 here, but I played rook c2. Might as well take an open file. Then queen g5. And now she blundered again. And she's losing. The best move is rook e1 and maybe rook e8, sort of tied for first. But she played a4. And when I say it's a blunder, she knew that she was losing the exchange here. She did it on purpose. So I threatened mate, and she can't play f6. Never play f6 because rook c7. Then you really never play f6. Now I'm right. So she has to sack the exchange. And b3. Rook c1 is a good move. After the game, she was mad that she didn't play queen f5 check and then a3. But the computer says I'm plus 4.5 no matter what happens. I still play a takes b3 here. It's very similar. So she played a3 first. I took. She checked. And she got into time trouble here, but it doesn't matter. Whenever she checks me on the 7th rank, I could always block with my queen. So there's no like tricks. She checked and played g5. Now there's a lot of tricks. g5 is a really good move. I saw g5, but what am I going to do? I'm white. So the two most obvious moves I don't think win. And when I say obvious, my queen's trapped here. I can't get back to defend my king, so I could play queen b6 or queen c6. Those were two moves that I looked at. Queen b6 fails to queen f2 check. My rook's pinned. And then queen g1. This keeps my rook pinned and also threatens queen a1 mate. So if I play rook c1, then I'm not really getting anywhere, if you see what I mean. Okay. And queen c6 also doesn't work because queen check. And I can't play king b1. Always play king b1 because she mates me. King rook c2. I lose my rook. And if I play like the obvious move, which saves my rook, she attacks everything. So I got 3 guys attacked. And I guess I lose. Yeah, truth hurts. Okay, so I can't play queen c6. I can't play queen b6. Main problem is when she's checking me on the 7th rank, my rooks are all hanging. So rook a4 wins according to the engine, but I didn't want to trade rooks and my king wide open to all these checks. So I played rook cd1, which is a good move. Now if she checks on the 7th rank, I just block with a rook. So the problem is, let's say she checks and then she threatens mate somehow with like queen e1 or queen f1. I'm taking on g5 with check. So that's not very helpful. If she plays queen g1, I play rook a4, and she doesn't have a lot of checks. For example, if she takes and plays check after king a2, there's no... Oh, I'm sorry. I stopped queen b6 check because my queen's on h6. I actually knew that during the game, but I forgot now. Yeah, so then I would take her queen. Actually, there's no checks here. Okay. So, yeah. I guess you could play rook c8, but I'm assuming rook c2 wins. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming it wins. I don't see how I could be wrong. Okay. Anyway, she played rook e8 with like 3 seconds on her clock because she saw that every normal move would lose. And I took on d5, and now I'm skewering her queen and her g-pawn. And if she checks with her queen, for example, then that's the end of that. So she checked with her rook, and I played king a3. And she's just playing on the last couple of moves because there's no time on the clock. And then here she resigned, which is expected. So that was a very difficult game. I made a really bad move, one move out of my prep from a position that was great. And then as soon as I gave her the chance, it was really hard to calculate both sacrifices because they're very interesting, both of them. And she, unfortunately for her, picked the wrong one. Luckily for me. You got to be lucky to win at chess. Chess is tough. Tomorrow I'm black against Akshat Chandra. Chandra has 5 losses and 3 draws. He's having a bad tournament. Maybe he could improve his tournament by playing me. He did beat me in the last tournament we played in where he tied for first. And he got his final GM norm. So so he had a good tournament last tournament here. So he's in the last. And I'm in 4th right now, half a point behind, guys, Christian Kurilla and Robert Hess. They both have +2, and I'm +1. And Barish Politz is +4. So that's what happened. Very tired. The ground's at 11 a.m. tomorrow, my time, which is noon on the East Coast. 2 hours earlier than it normally is. So if you're watching it on uschesschamps.com or Chess24 or ChessBomb, or if you're coming here to St. Louis to watch it live, it starts at 11 o'clock local time. All right. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Please like and subscribe. If you donate, great. If you don't donate, you don't. That's life. And I'll see you guys next time. I don't know if I'll make a video tomorrow. But I probably will, you know me. And I fly home on Monday, and then I'll make lots of videos, or I'll sleep or something. I'll do something. All right, bye, everyone.